this one or that one?
Canada, they had a decent start, but Norris had a better one.
He was on intermediates, Norris. But yeah.
Why were they on intermediates, Jay? Was it raining?
Honestly, it's been a while. I can't
It's
quite
been
remember.
2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. How do you not remember what happened? I invite you on a podcast. You're supposed to do the research. You even said, you're on camera saying that you researched for this. Hello everybody and welcome back to Ahead at the Apex. I am your host Josh and today I am once again joined by Jake. Say hi Jake.
Hello.
I'd written joined by Tim and Jake. Say hi Tim and Jake, but Tim is not here.
No, Tim does not say hi today.
Tim does not say hi today. He's got better things to do apparently. He broke a piece of equipment that we have at work. So that was cool. Today we are going to be talking about the Monaco Grand Prix, the Balaton Park Grand Prix and some odd things that happened at it's not the Spanish Grand Prix, is it? The Grand Prix of Barcelona, Catalonia.
Yeah.
And asking what the hell happened to Ferrari. Before we get started, though, on all of that, enough about download. We could talk about download all day long, but enough about download. If you want to send us a question, please feel free to get in touch with us via our social media channels. Head over to Patreon, which is at AATApex. And become a member. It's completely free and you can get involved with our From Our Perspective series. We are just about caught up. I have to catch up some MotoGP stuff, but we are just about caught up on that. Le Mans stuff will be coming this week as well on there, which was cool. That was also at the weekend. Lots to catch up on. Lots of sport missed. And we only missed Sunday. And I still missed F1 and Le Mans.
Yep.
From Our Perspective series, race chats, and send us your questions for every podcast recording session. Alternatively, you can get in touch on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter using @AATApex. Finally, why not leave us a review and comment on Spotify or wherever you like to get your podcasts? Let's do it. So we're going to jump around a bit, but we're going to start with F1, and specifically we're going to start with the Monaco Grand Prix and a worldly prediction that we made on our last recording session for the Monaco Grand Prix. Do you remember what I said?
No.
I said, congratulations, Charles Leclerc, on winning the Monaco Grand Prix. And then I also said, congratulations, Lewis Hamilton, on coming second, which of course he did.
Yep.
And then I also said, congratulations, Ollie Behrman, for coming third. Now, Ollie Behrman didn't come third, but Pierre Gasly did.
And then he didn't. And then he did again.
Wait, try that again. Say, Pierre Gasly came third.
And then he didn't. And then he did again.
Yes, Pierre Gasly. But that's not where we're starting. We are starting with the youngest ever Monaco Grand Prix winner, as we seem to start every single podcast with at the moment, which is Kimi Antonelli.
Yep.
What haven't we said already about Kimi Antonelli? So after Canada, he'd taken his fourth consecutive win, which were his first four wins.
Yep.
Putting himself on a list of one that said K. Antonelli 2026. Then, in perhaps the most high pressure situation of the entire F1 season, which is Monaco Grand Prix qualifying, he puts it on pole at a racetrack where everyone was going, Ferrari are going to do this. This is Ferrari's track. Maybe Max will be in the mix because,
it's Max. It's Monaco.
Max. Sunday, and it was all about the start. And Mercedes have had shocking starts this year.
They've either been a good starter or awful.
Or lost 5 places.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Canada, they had a decent start, but Norris had a better one.
He was on intermediates, Norris. But yeah.
Why were they on intermediates, Jake? Was it raining?
No, some weather dude decided to put on inters. I don't know.
Gemini.
Probably.
Chief strategist Gemini.
Probably.
China, they had bad starts. Australia, they had bad starts. Japan, they had bad starts. Miami, they had okay starts. Yeah. So it's 50-50. So everyone was like, oh, is Kimi going to do it? Obviously, it's also a high-pressure situation. The entire weekend hinges on qualifying and the start, usually.
And that's not Kimi's strong suit, is the start.
Neither of those are necessarily Kimi's strong point.
No.
But absolutely nailed it. And how do most people win the Monaco Grand Prix?
Stick it on pole and go for it.
Well, stick it on pole and do what?
Stay in front.
And do what?
Not put it in a wall.
And do what? What's the strategy? What's the go-to strategy?
I honestly, no idea.
Slow down.
Really?
Go slowly. Do not allow gaps to build. Do not allow people to undercut you. Go slowly. Win at the slowest pace possible. Did Kimi Antonelli get that message?
Probably not.
He did not. By lap 12, he'd started to lap cars.
Yeah.
He lapped, let me be clear, he lapped just about everybody up to, I want to say, Leclerc. Because Russell was a lap down. Was Russell in 4th? Pre-red flag?
I think so.
They all finished on the lead lap because the friggin' red flag and the safety car and everything. Russell was a lap down. So he just about lapped everybody, apart from the top 3.
Yeah.
And he had a humongous gap over Lewis Hamilton in 2nd place and Charles Leclerc in 3rd place. That may sound weird because Max was on 2nd. Jake, where was Max Verstappen?
Was he not 4th?
He was not 4th.
5th?
Nope. We're not doing the whole order. What happened to Max Verstappen at the start of the race?
Honestly, it's been a while. I can't
It's
quite
been
remember.
2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. How do you not remember what happened? I invite you on a podcast. You're supposed to do the research. You even said, you're on camera saying that you research for this.
Yeah, it's Monaco.
Okay, he complained about lack of power on the formation lap and then didn't move at the start of the race.
Nice. So back of the grid then.
Well, just retired. Didn't even make it around lap 1. Just retired.
Oh, wow.
How do you not remember this?
Hungary, man. MotoGP. That was...
Yeah, but I watched the Monaco race first and then I watched Hungary, even though that's not the way it happened. So Max out of the way. All he had to do was beat the Ferraris. George was friggin' nowhere because he's having a poor run of form, or was having a poor run of form, should I say. And then he just executed perfectly. He built the gap. He pitted into the gap. He built another gap ready for a safety car. Then Lance Stroll existed and drove into Anthony Nogues. Is it Anthony Nogues? The last corner. It's Raskas, Anthony Nogues, I think.
Sounds about right.
It's the bit where the track was disintegrating. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And you remember Lance going straight on?
Yes.
And you remember the safety car that came out?
Yep.
And then George pitted but didn't serve his penalty.
Yep.
We'll get onto that in a minute. Built the safety car gap, pitted, came out in front of Hamilton, and then at the safety car restart, Leclerc goes into the barrier. That brings out a red flag. Then they notice that the track is broken. And then they're like, maybe we should just sweep that up. So they sweep it up and then red flag restart, and everyone's going, this is Lewis's time. Lewis is going to do this. He's going to get him off the start. Nope. Antonelli nails the start and then pulls away. What did the gap finish as in the end? It was like 7 laps to go, and Lewis finished 10 seconds behind him.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, Leclerc, that's Canada. That's Canada, Josh. What are you looking at Canada for? 6.2 seconds. Gasly finished 20 seconds behind Antonelli, but that's because George spat his dummy out.
Which is...
Do you remember that?
Yeah, George usually spits his dummy out,
So we'll get onto the penalties in a minute, but George was carrying a penalty that he felt was unfair and then decided to do dangerous driving.
To get another one.
For whatever reason, because, you know, when things don't go his way, he lashes out with anger and unnecessary violence. So he got into third and then was slow up the hill and then slowed down the hill and then slow into the hairpin and was just trying to cause, I think what he was trying to cause was another safety car or a red flag, because if there was a red flag, then he could argue the penalty afterwards. I think that's what he was trying to cause. It finished Antonelli, Hamilton, Hadjar. It's classified as Antonelli, Hamilton, Gasly, and we'll get onto that in a minute.
Yep.
But he continued his streak up to 5 and became the youngest ever Monaco Grand Prix winner. Who are the other youngest Monaco Grand Prix winners, Jake?
Well, knowing a little bit of history, I'm guessing Lewis Hamilton.
He was the previous youngest at 23 years, 4 months and 18 days.
I'm guessing Max.
He was the next youngest at 23 years, 7 months and 23 days.
Very much not Lance Stroll.
No, he's never won it.
No, I don't think he's won a race.
I think you'll be able to get just about everybody on this list without looking.
Lando Norris.
Lando Norris is on that list at 25 years, 6 months and 12 days. He is 8th.
Fernando Alonso.
Fernando Alonso is on that list. He is 6th at 24 years, 9 months and 30 days. You've got quite a few left to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kimi Räikkönen.
Kimi Räikkönen is on that list. 9th at 25 years, 7 months and 5 days. Come on, just think about other Monaco Grand Prix winners.
It's not going to be Daniel Ricciardo, is it?
It's not Daniel Ricciardo.
No. Sebastian Vettel.
He's 4th on that list at 23 years, 10 months and 26 days. So you've got 1, 2, 3 to go. All of whom you will know of, 2 of whom are proper legends.
Michael
at 25 years, 4 months and 12 days. 2 more to go. Old. Think old school now.
Senna.
Nope.
It's not going to be like Jim Clark, is it?
No.
Okay. Prost.
Nope. Think
Red.
What is this?
Hat.
Red hat. If you're playing at home, shouting at your car dashboard right now because Jake doesn't know the red hat reference, I feel your pain. Austrian.
Oh, Niki Lauda.
Niki Lauda. At 26 years, 2 months and 19 days. He is 10th. And the guy who started it all for you.
Jenson Button.
Nope.
Jacques Villeneuve.
Nope. What team do you support?
McLaren. So Bruce McLaren?
Bruce McLaren at 24 years, 9 months and 4 days in 5th. There you go. So now Antonelli at 19 years, 9 months and 13 days. Some 4 years younger than Lewis Hamilton. Nearly. Almost exactly.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be beaten for a while.
I don't think so either. It would take, I mean, we said this about Max, right? It would take somebody coming in at a top team who is fresh out of F2 for a year
Yeah.
to get to that. But, and this is the bit I hope that you will remember, that has all changed. There were quite a lot of penalties.
Yeah. I remember my phone going for a good amount of time with all the penalties.
Oh, I thought that was just your usual Friday night.
No.
Okay. So here's a list of all the penalties. So first of all, Sergio Perez. He's in his own category. Gabriel Bortoleto crashed in quali. You remember that much?
Yep.
And had to start from the pit lane.
Yep.
So Perez was like, yoink, I'll take that grid spot. So that's the drive-through. And then...
You'd think he'd know, right?
And then at the second restart, he was in the correct box, but incorrectly in the correct box. So was given a 10-second penalty. Which means that even though he crossed the line in 11th, but Hülkenberg was given a penalty, that promoted Perez to 10th. Perez then was not 10th anymore.
Yep.
You with me so far?
Yep.
On Hülkenberg's penalty then, he crossed the line in 10th, but was given a 10-second time penalty for a collision with Sainz, which was, pardon the French, because he was on the inside of the hairpin. Sainz didn't leave the space.
You must always leave the space.
Hülkenberg was perfectly alongside.
Yeah.
And Sainz cut back in to take the next right-hander and hit Hülkenberg. But somehow that's Hülkenberg's fault because George Russell was driving like a chav and Sainz was driving like a chav and Hülkenberg was an innocent victim in all this. Anyway, enough about Nico Hülkenberg from the Nico Hülkenberg fan club. Then there was 6 speeding in the pit lane penalties. That's unusual.
I mean...
7 if you count. 6 drivers, 7 penalties. Yeah. That's unusual.
I'm pretty sure there is a... okay.
6 drivers, 7 penalties.
You're older than me.
Where's Tim? Tim would have loved that joke.
He would have done.
Be more like Tim.
No.
Okay. Those drivers were Russell, Gasly ×2, Hamilton, Colapinto, Piastri, and Stroll. Obviously, Stroll didn't serve his penalty because he decided the barrier looked tastier than the pit lane.
I mean, that's his standard practice, though, isn't it?
And Gasly also didn't serve his penalties. That's important. Foreshadowing banner right here. And Russell didn't serve his penalty. That's also important. Hold on to that for later. But Hamilton, Colapinto, and Piastri all served their penalties at the pit stop during the safety car period.
Yep.
Now, why is it important that Russell didn't serve his penalty?
Because that could demote him positions at the end of the race.
No. It's because he did make another pit stop and didn't serve the penalty properly.
So what that means is another penalty.
And it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one. I'm trying to think. There was just a reference there I had in my head. It's like, whoa, it's a whopper. It's a drive-through penalty for not serving a time penalty correctly. So if you have a 5-second or a 10-second penalty, you have to serve it during your next pit stop. If you do not make a next pit stop, it will be applied after the race. That is the wording in the rule book.
Yep.
It does not mean come in for a pit stop, don't serve the penalty, add it to the time at the end of the race.
No. It's not a choice. It's a mandatory. You must serve this at some point.
So George pulls in. As the cars have to come through the pit lane because Lance Stroll is parked at the last corner behind the safety car, George comes in for a pit stop. The left-hand side of the car, mechanics, don't touch the car. The right-hand side of the car do touch the car. Then the left-hand side are like, well, if they're touching the car, we better touch the car. So he has a long pit stop anyway, and then also doesn't serve the penalty properly. And the moment he finds out about it while they're back in the pit lane for the red flag, golden.
Yep.
And then he marches his sweet little legs up to the stewards to go and complain during the red flag, which is a bit of a no-no. Yep. And then gets a drive-through, drives like a chav on the restart, slowing everybody down, serves the drive-through, and finishes 12th. Although that would have been 14th on the road.
Yep.
Ahead of only Colapinto. because Hulkenberg and Perez were penalised after the race. Bad luck, George. Sorry, not sorry. Serve the penalty properly. It's not good enough. How did Mercedes win 8 constructors titles back to back if this is how they are?
I think they did lose quite a bit of staff recently to other teams, but it's kind of shocking how many people were speeding in the pit lane.
It is a bit.
Because I'm pretty sure there is a button with a pit lane speed limiter, is there not?
Well, I'm glad you bring it up. And I am once again sad that Tim is not here because we're about to get physicsy. Are you ready for the physics?
Go physics, man.
Okay. Speed is distance over time. The amount of people on social media that didn't know that was a thing.
Yep.
Boggles my mind.
Yep.
Speed is measured in miles per hour or
kilometers per hour.
If you're from New England, kilometers per hour. The per is a division. I should not have to explain this.
No.
It's GCSE.
It's not even that.
Physics.
It's not even that.
There is quite literally, in the way you write km/h, there is quite literally a division symbol in the units.
Yep.
Okay, so we're over that. If you didn't know that, please take a look at any GCSE level textbook. Many are available at your local library. Support local libraries. So, how the FIA measure the pit lane speed limit is they set up a timing loop between the start and the end of the pit lane.
Yep.
Then they factor in
the time in the box.
The time in the box. And then they apply the maths. Length of pit lane, time, minus time stationary is the speed. Are you with me so far?
Yep.
It went really quiet. It feels like it's gone really quiet. And I know it's just because you're not talking, but like there's no background noise either. It just feels like it's gone really quiet.
I'm letting you do the science.
Okay. Here's the problem. Monaco is a curved pit lane. It first is a tight right-hander, then a quick left, then the whole pit lane is curved slightly to the right, and then the exit is a quick left and another right before you back out onto the track and the pit lane speed limit no longer applies. That's a problem when you add an extra team.
Yep.
Because you suddenly have to move the barrier. So for people who don't know, when you come around the right and left into the pit lane at Monaco, there is like a red and white sort of plastic barrier.
Yeah.
That is there during the race to stop people driving into the weighbridge. The FIA garages are at the very back end of the pit lane, the very start of the pit lane. So there's the scrutineering one and there's the weighbridge. Now next to that is Cadillac. So everything has had to shift closer.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which means the barrier is a bit tighter. The barrier is a bit looser so that Cadillac can get in to their pit lane because it's quite a tight pit lane.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they've moved the barrier, cars can now take a shorter distance through the pit lane. Because if you attack the pit lane, you only have to keep 2 wheels in the white line that separates the fast lane, as it's so called in the pit lane, from the pit boxes. Yeah? So you can cut that as a straight line. And in theory, the pit lane is 77 centimeters shorter than it was last year.
Yes.
In theory. But that would mean that you brush the plastic barrier. So they reckon it's somewhere about 60 centimeters shorter than last year. Are you with me so far?
Yep.
Okay. In reality, a car traveling at the 60 kilometers per hour speed limit could have completed a distance of 2,670 centimeters which is 60 centimeters shorter than it was last year. And also 60 centimeters shorter than the timing loop was set to. Which means any such car aggressively attacking the pit lane could have got an infringement around 0.5 kilometers an hour. Would you like to know how fast Gasly was going? Or would you like to read it?
Gasly was penalised for a 0.1 kilometers per hour and a 0.4 kilometers per hour infringement.
So Alpine protested.
That protest makes sense.
Yes. And herein lies the hand grenade that Alpine have launched into the F1 grid.
Yep.
So Alpine was seen after the race measuring the distance of the pit lane and measuring based on width of the car the shortest distance that could have been taken. Because to do an appeal, every team has a right of review to any incident that was given during the race. Now, you can't go and complain to the stewards about time penalties. You have to take the FIA appeal process. Okay?
Yep.
Alpine turned up with the new distances, appealed Gasly's podium position, and won. So Gasly's penalties were annulled. That makes it super easy because Gasly didn't serve his penalties. So Gasly crossed the line in third, and then 10 seconds were added to his race time, which dropped him down to like 8th, right?
Yep.
But because he hadn't served his penalties, they could just get rid of that. Where did he cross the line?
Yep.
Right? Mercedes, on the other hand, have seen Alpine's success and decided to open up their own right of review on Russell's penalty. Here it gets a bit trickier because George got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So even if they turn up and they're like, well, the pit lane had a problem, you know that there was a problem, you've agreed that there was a problem. George was, who knows how much over the speed limit, we'd like that penalty gone, and also the drive-through. But George served the drive-through.
Yep.
And drove differently at the restart because he had the drive-through. So Toto is like, yeah, this is a bit of a long shot. There's too many what ifs. I don't think they'll do it. We made a mistake, but it's worth trying, right? Because they were saying if they add the 20 seconds for a drive-through back onto Russell's time, he finishes P4 anyway. Job done. Fear of already losing a podium and at fear of losing a P4 to this, Red Bull have launched a protest against Alpine's process. Right?
Yeah.
So Alpine go through the appeals process and then Red Bull appeal the outcome of that. Not appealing the penalty system, appealing the output from their appeal process.
Yep.
They say you are racing around cars that are receiving non-appealable penalties and you are adapting your racing to that. Some cars actually serve their penalties. It's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. So what they're saying there is Hadjar knew that Gasly had a penalty, so he raced him differently.
Right? Of course.
Because if you're fighting for a Monaco Grand Prix podium and you're fighting against a car that doesn't have any penalties, you might try it.
Yeah.
But if you're fighting for a Monaco Grand Prix podium and the car ahead of you has penalties, why would you take the risk? Just sit behind them, right? And he's got a fair point. And McLaren are in on this too, because obviously Norris didn't finish the race, but Piastri had a penalty, served it, and finished on the road in P5, but was promoted to P4. So McLaren are now appealing. Red Bull and McLaren have ganged up on Alpine, who feel like they were harshly done to by the FIA. And in the midst of all this, Mercedes are like, shit, we shouldn't have served any of the penalties and just appealed after the race.
Yeah.
Which is what every team should have done. Because the only way the FIA will change things now is if every team had just gone, we're not serving that penalty, we'll appeal it after the race. Let's just race. Because the FIA might have to just say, no points for Monaco.
Yeah.
That might be the way, right?
Yeah.
They might have to just turn around and go, right then, Monaco happened. Kimi, well done on the win. it will go down in the history books that you had a win. There are no points. But then Mercedes might appeal that because now, after what's happened in Barcelona, Hamilton is much closer to Antonelli.
He's second. So.
And that would bring him 25 points even closer to Antonelli.
Yeah.
Well, not quite, right? Because he would lose 18 as well. So 7 points closer to Antonelli. Not the point. Mercedes might say, whoa, hang on. Don't do that because now that takes 25 points off us. We don't want that. But then George might say, well, that's not fair because I would have got 12 points. Mercedes are in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah.
Emotionally speaking.
There's one decision that seemed quite fair and justified, bearing in mind that the sort of speed Gasly was over. It's kind of just thrown a hand grenade into F1 regulations to throw everything off the charts just for Monaco. And I'm all fine with penalties being doled out if they are correct. But if it's going to cause this much of an issue, don't remove penalties.
I honestly think the FIA should have just turned around and gone, we are the rule makers. I'd like to talk about some more weird things that happened during that Grand Prix.
Sure, go for it.
First of all, it was a boring Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And I will not have anybody tell me otherwise.
No, it was boring.
There was a bit of strategy, but kind of once the VSC came out, which was 2/3 of the way through the Grand Prix, then it was flat.
Yeah.
It was flat for the last third, let's be real.
Yeah.
There was a little bit where Antonelli tried to overtake Russell and then retired. But apart from that, the interesting bit came in, will Lewis catch the Mercedes? Oh, wait, he is catching the Mercedes at quite some rate. That will make the pit stops equal again. Can he force them into a situation? Oh, look, he's forced them into a situation. That bit was okay. Then the VSC came out. It's like, right, great. So first of all, Charles Leclerc has the worst luck of anybody on the grid apart from Nico Hülkenberg. And also, Hamilton's won this race.
Yep.
And won it by 20 seconds. Which is madness. Yeah. Absolute madness. We'll get on to Lewis in a minute. There were some other weird bits. Where would you like to start? I've got Antonelli, Leclerc, Hülkenberg, and Albon. Where would you like to start?
I think Albon.
Okay, what happened to Albon?
So, I think it was that sort of like lap 30 to sort of 40. He was sat just outside the points for a lot of the race. Not really getting any sort of commentary attention. Really, he was not really mentioned at all.
No, not really.
Which is pretty standard for sort of outside the points. You've sort of written down TV camera came loose, had to pit to fix it. That was not mentioned at all.
It was. There was a bit where the footage flicked onto Albon and it was vibrating, and then about 5 laps later, after he'd already pitted, they were with James Vowles on the Sky commentary, and he said, "Oh yeah, we had this thing that I've never seen in F1 before, where the FIA FOM TV camera has come loose. We had to fix that."
Yeah,
it's weird. I've never seen it either.
Because
I've never seen it in 30 years of F1. I've never seen it.
We saw him retire. We assumed retire.
Yeah.
We're thinking,
he didn't retire though.
That sucks. Albon, he could have got some points if something had happened, and then a few laps later, he's back out.
He's back out. He finished 11 laps down.
Yeah.
He's officially not classified, and he finished behind Leclerc, Antonelli, and Behrman, all of whom DNF'd.
Yeah.
I do not understand how you can be technically 18th, even though he's not classified, in a race that finished with 14 drivers.
Yeah, I understand if he'd had like a penalty, or he was coming out to test something like the camera. But why would you keep running? It just adds extra.
Oh, it's just testing, isn't it?
Yeah, it just adds extra mileage to your engine, though.
Yeah, but I think these engines are pretty much done for now. He joined Leclerc, Antonelli, Behrman, Albon. Sorry, Leclerc, Antonelli, Behrman, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Bortoleto, and let me try all of that again. Albon joins Leclerc, Antonelli, Behrman, Alonso, Hulkenberg, Bottas, and Stroll in the DNF list. I'd like to go on to Hulkenberg, if I may.
Sure.
Because that's another one I've never seen in F1 before. In Monaco, McLaren were fined a lot of money because they covered up their engine off switch. So for those who don't know, they've highlighted it more this year, I think, because there's now extra bits. There used to be, on the front nose of the car, there would be a button that said neutral. Remember that? And inside the cockpit, there would be a kill switch for the engine. So when the marshals turn up to move a car, they can first of all flick the kill switch if it's not already been done. So that means the engine cannot start, nothing can start. And then on the front, they can put it into neutral by pushing a button, which means if it won't roll, now it will.
Yeah.
Right? These are just like mechanical forces, right? It's like disengage gearbox, kill engine.
Yeah.
This year, they've made like a 3-way disc on the front, one of which is neutral, one of which is the kill switch, and one of which is the battery dump, I believe. So Hulkenberg is following Lawson in the points, doing well. Unusual for the last few races for Audi.
Yep.
When Lawson runs wide and flicks up a piece of gravel, which hits the kill switch, and just that's out, that's the race over. Glide back into the pits, retire. Cannot get it started. So I assume he released the fire suppression fluid into the fuel tank. I can't see how they couldn't have just restarted the battery system from the cockpit or in the pits because he was right there.
Yeah.
That's a weird one, right? That's so unlucky.
I feel like that's just bad design to have something so sort of fundamental to safety that easily to be triggered.
Why is it not on the top of the car?
Exactly. Either
Like-
top of the car or somewhere near where a marshal would want to be. They don't want to be in front of the car in case it rolls.
I get why it's on the nose because all the electronics are in there anyway. I do get why it's there, and it is the easiest place for a marshal to trigger. But could it be on the side of the nose so that doesn't happen?
Yeah.
Why can't it be there? Or underneath so that can't happen? Or on the side pod or on the top? Or on the halo?
They've got that little gap to put when they need to lift the car.
Why can't it be behind the halo mounting?
Or that. It could very easily be anywhere sort of either behind the driver, near the halo, or sort of near where you would lift the car, put it near there, because that's where you're going to be if you're a marshal.
Yeah.
Right, you're going to press that and go, oh, I can't move this car, let's get it up. If it's so easily flicked on or off by a piece of gravel,
Yeah.
that's bad design.
Yeah, hands down.
Because that could happen to someone in second place fighting for a title at the end of the season.
Yeah. I mean, Hulkenberg's not going to fight the title.
No, but it could happen to Kimi Antonelli, Lewis Hamilton, anyone.
Yeah.
And just ruin the whole season for them and that team. It doesn't seem particularly smart.
No. I mean, it's also the first time this has happened.
True.
So let's not sound the alarm.
But if it happens again, that would be concerning.
Yeah. Leclerc's issue.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Runs wide at turn 2. Runs wide again at turn 4. Then retires.
Yeah.
Ferrari have come out and said it was a hydraulic issue. Well, Leclerc's come out and said it's a hydraulic issue. He said he lost the brakes, he lost the power steering, and his gear shifts were off.
Yeah.
That tells me hydraulic issue.
Yes.
That's fine. It's not fine, but
It happens.
It happens, but it's the second week in a row he's complaining about brakes.
Yeah.
Brembo will not be happy. Antonelli's issue. Now, this is a weird one. He just overtaken Russell, and then it looked like the PU gave up the same way Russell's did in Canada.
Yeah, I don't think, personally, it was the exact same reason, but it looked very similar.
I think it's the exact same issue, but Mercedes don't yet know because Russell's battery is still on a ship from Canada.
Yeah, it's a different circumstance, at least, from what happened in Canada.
Is it?
Reasonably.
They were battling. Kimi was behind and chasing. As soon as he got ahead, battery died. That's exactly what happened to Russell.
Russell went off, didn't he? And then that.
Russell went off, I think, because it failed.
Maybe. Obviously,
you got to think how much engine braking these cars do, right? As soon as that stops, like, you're just going to run off.
Yeah.
It was a different set of corners as well. Kimi retired on a slower section.
Yeah.
Russell retired on the way into a chicane.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Oh, download is catching up with me.
Yeah.
Just weird. I just think there were a few weird retirements. Stroll was an engine failure issue. Bottas, also mechanical issue. Behrman, I didn't see. How did Behrman retire?
I'm not entirely sure, but it didn't seem to be. It wasn't a crash. It wasn't an incident. It wasn't anything like that. It could very well have been a mechanical thing. But if it is a mechanical thing, that doesn't look very good for Ferrari right now.
So, MotoGP and Balaton Park have a relationship like a soap opera.
Yeah.
This is the second time
that
Balaton Park has hosted. It's a purpose-built track, not for MotoGP.
No.
But it was newly built for track days and things like that. When MotoGP said they wanted to go to Hungary, Balaton Park said, pick me. Even though
there is multiple
the Hungaroring exists and just needed more safety investment. Anyway, it's not a popular circuit. It did not produce a great race last year. It did not produce a great race this year.
I think the sprint was okay. It was better than it was last year, but the race in itself was a bit meh.
Yeah. It was also marred by a political election in the build-up to the Grand Prix that meant the promoter wasn't able to do the promoting.
Yep.
And so only 70,000 tickets were sold.
Yep.
On top of and sold by the organisers for the Hungaroring Grand Prix, by the way. On top of that, some resurfacing work at turn 1 compounded MotoGP's start problem as Jorge Martin barreled into 4 of the riders off the start. So he has a good start, but as soon as he tries to brake, the bike just wobbles violently.
I don't even think it's like he didn't have a fantastic start, but it wasn't a bad start. And I think it's the instant
No, it wasn't
he
a bad
hits,
start. I thought it was quite a good start because he was a bit behind Bez, and then he was like almost on top of him, and then he was on top of him, and then he was underneath him, and then he was on top of him again, and underneath him again.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry, just your Friday night.
No, okay. I think it was that new tarmac that was down at turn 1. The instant he hits that, just grip vanishes because it'd been happening all weekend. That people have just been either going wide, not being able to brake, going off, crashing, going down. It was quite a constant event that was happening, and this one just kind of felt like, that was pretty much bound to happen at some point. Whether that was lap 1 or whether that was later on, it wasn't sure. But it kind of made the race a little bit more entertaining to a degree.
It did.
Just because a lot of the favourites and a lot of the title contenders were kind of out straight away.
Yeah, so it looked like the braking locked and then wobble, bike comes down, swipes Bez underneath.
Yeah.
Bez then hits Aldeguer.
Yeah.
And Martin continues over and hits
Digi.
Fernandez. Fernandez's bike hits Digia.
Yeah.
All 5 of them go down at turn 1. Digia is the only one who's able to get back up and keep racing. So 4 riders out. Now, it is a little embarrassing that Digia then beats Morbidelli.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a great sign for his future in MotoGP at all.
No. And not just beats him, Beats him by 3 seconds and 2 places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Carl Crutchlow was the only one not to score any points.
Yeah, but it's Cal Crutchlow in it. He's like the Hulkenberg.
Not even a point. Though he did only finish 6 seconds behind Vinales. Anyway. So with that open goal by Martin, Marquez takes the victory, and we'll talk about that in next week's episode. Ahead of Acosta and Bagnaia, the only Aprilia to survive was Agura, who was only saved by the fact that he's rubbish at qualifying.
Yep.
And that means, as I've just said, everybody scored points apart from Crutchlow, who's standing in for Zarco.
Yep.
The real spiciness of it is that Rivola said about Martin after the race, that's not the kind of attitude you expect from a world champion.
Yep.
And in the off week between Barcelona and this race, the Aprilia riders had a meeting about Fernandez riding into the side of Martin.
Yep.
And it was along the lines of, don't be a dick, behave yourselves. We've got the best bike on the MotoGP grid at the moment. Don't ride into each other.
Don't ruin the title hope.
So at the very first opportunity, Martin rides into the other two.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just phenomenal. Okay. I think that is a good time to end. I wanted there to be more Le Mans in this episode. And then, as you can see, my Le Mans correspondent is not here. And he's the one who keeps telling me we need to talk about more WEC.
Yep.
But he's not here.
If you were here, Tim, we could talk about it more.
Jake is the bike guy.
Even
Tim is the WEC guy. And together we're all the F1 guys. And then that's kind of how this works. And I have a foot in both camps.
Yeah.
Motorsport speaking. But yeah, I can't talk about Le Mans in too much detail with you because you didn't watch it. You don't pay attention.
Nope.
So thanks, Tim. Right, remember, if you want to send us a question, you can get in touch with us via our social channels. Head over to our Patreon, AAT Apex, and become a member. It's completely free, and you can get involved with our From Our Perspective series, race chats, and send us your questions for every podcast recording session, which is every 2 weeks. Alternatively, you can get in touch on Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter at AAT Apex. And finally, why not leave us a review and a comment on Spotify or wherever you like to get your podcasts. Jake, thank you for joining me.
Very welcome.
I will see you next week for some multiple world champion discussions.
Yep.
Peace.
See you.